CTV's Daniele Hamamdjian is standing by at a train station near the Poland-Ukraine border. And Daniele, more than 1.5 million people have now fled the fighting in Ukraine, and that is more than the entire population of 1.4 million Ukrainians in Canada. So talk to us a bit more about what it's been like to see this massive flood of people trying to get to safety.
It's been unbelievable to see, really. And I think what makes it even more heart-wrenching is the fact that the vast majority of the people that we see are crossing are seniors, but of course most are women and children. Half of the people who've crossed into Poland, and that number in total will reach 1 million by the end of the day, officials say, but half of the people who've crossed into Poland are children. And they have left their fathers behind, and their worlds have been flipped upside down, and they've been waiting at the border for hours. It's better now. There is a system in place, and we're not seeing the same kind of chaos we saw in the first few days. But to see the mothers cross the border holding on to a bag full of whatever they were able to grab along the way, and their children, and to have them be here in Poland, not knowing how long they're going to have to stay here. In some cases, they're being greeted by family members or friends from Poland or elsewhere across Europe. In other cases, they know absolutely no one. They're relying on the government here for accommodations. And after the first or second night, they end up at this train station, in so many cases, to take a train westward to Krakow, to Warsaw, and then who knows. But as one woman I spoke to this morning said, she's from Odessa. She came with her sister who's in a wheelchair and her mother. She said, this has to be temporary. This cannot be the permanent solution. We want to be able to go back to our country.
And of course, on your side of the border in Poland, there are so many people who have come out as volunteers from all over, trying to help, trying to do what they can. What are you hearing from them and why they decided to make the trek to the border?
Well, first of all, I think that the official numbers are in the tens of thousands of Ukrainian men who have crossed into Ukraine to help with the fight. But outside Ukrainians, we've seen foreign nationals from the United States, from Norway, from Canada. Yesterday, we had a chance to meet up with a group of men from Canada who had flown in. They took the plane on Friday night from Toronto, and they landed yesterday. All of them have Ukrainian roots. Some of them have Ukrainian passports. Some of them have Canadian passports. Not much military training, but all of them have the will and are ready to kill and die to defend this country. And they didn't want to be identified for obvious reasons, but they loaded their belongings onto a bus, and then they crossed a border not too far from here. And they are now on a military base in Ukraine. They have, for the most part, been told to switch off their phones, and they'll see what's next. But what's remarkable to me is that it's not just been men who have come back. We spoke to a woman this morning who took her nephews and her nieces out of Ukraine. She drove them to Germany. She's come back, and she took a train earlier today back into Ukraine to be with her brother, to be with her parents, because she said that it was the right thing to do, and she had to be with her family.
Just a remarkable show of dedication to one's family and country. CTV's Daniele Hamamdjian joining us on this. Thank you so much for your reporting.